I wanted to make a video about my custom plants that I've added because I noticed I've barely made any videos about it. So, here is a video on everything I've added so far. And unlike my video on AwesomeXD's thing, this is actually unscripted. I'm making this up as I go. Hi, Future Marioman98 here. Later on in the video I got really bored with editing this video, and I just wanted to get it out. So the editing in this video is a bit lazy, okay? Hopefully you can still understand everything that I've added. The first custom world that I've added is the World War. The World War is set in the First World War, and it has two gimmicks. The first gimmick is because it's the war, the zombies are tougher and have more health, but only a little bit, so. The second gimmick is that every now and then a missile will come out from the side of the zombie side of the screen and blow up a random plant. There is a counter though. After you beat the first level, you unlock Clover Cover, which is one of my custom plants. If a missile hits a plant that has a clover cover protecting it, it'll just bounce 3 spaces away, destroying the plant 3 spaces in front of it instead. If that plant also has a clover cover, it'll just keep bouncing until it hits a good space with no clover cover. By the way, I forgot that I had attempted to make my own music for the World War recently, with emphasis on attempted. The second custom world I'm adding is the moon landing. It's set when NASA, I don't know if I pronounced that wrong or not, but when they launched their first rocket to the moon. This world has multiple gimmicks. Because the zombies are in astronaut suits, well, at least most of them will be, they're slower but a lot tougher. And because it's the moon, there's more sun coming down because it's closer to the sun. And because there's no magnetic field to protect the plant from the sun's radiation, if you don't use the Hiawatha Kavai plant, which is basically a pot plant, to protect them, then they'll slowly die of radiation. The next mutant plant is Mutant Pea Shooter. It shoots poisonous peas, and it also has an extra spout that lobs peas. The third mutant plant is the Mutant Nut. I haven't finished coding this one, but when it's done, it's going to slime the zombies, slowing them down. Kind of like the Winter Nut from AwesomeXD's game. The next plant is the Mutant Cherry Bomb. This one actually costs less than the regular cherry bomb because it's not as good. It poisons zombies in a 3x3 area, and has a faster recharge. The final mutant plant is one of the strongest plants in the game, and I still need to increase its cost, which I'll do soon. It's the Mutant Jalapeno. It will burn 3 lanes of zombies, instantly killing pretty much anything except Giganturas. The Hiawatha Kavai is pretty strong even by itself. I've also added mutant plants, and because they're mutant, they're immune to the radiation, so you don't need the Hiawatha Kavai for them. The first mutant plant is the Mutant Sunflower. It looks a little bit drunk, and it has 2 extra stems, producing small sun. Now for my custom plants that aren't in those worlds. Starting with Carrion, which in real life is a stinky flower. The Carrion will stink zombies in a 3x3 area. It pushes them back and diverts them, kind of like a garlic. Then we have the Corpse Flower. It's kind of like a really strong Carrion. In real life, the Corpse Flower is really stinky, but it barely ever blooms. So in this game, the Corpse Flower will, every 40 seconds, I think it will bloom, and in a 5x3 area, zombies will get pushed back a whole bunch and be diverted to a random lane. Next up for the custom plants you unlock in modern day. First up is Hydro Tulip. Hydro Tulip is very weak unless you place him behind a water hole, which I forgot to mention. Water holes are a grid item that is basically just a water tile for a single tile. You can put lily pads on it, but if there's no lily pad, you can't put anything on it. The hydro tulip, if the water hole has nothing on it, and the hydro tulip is to the left of it, it will drink the water, and its damage for one shot will be increased by about 30 times. And then it will just keep shooting normally again for a bit. Next up is ivy. As I was thinking about this plant, I realized I probably need to buff it. But basically, if a zombie eats it, it will get poisoned, and it's enough to kill a basic. That's pretty much it. Then there's waspberry. Waspberry has a waspy cough, and it coughs the zombies further back a bit and damages them a bit. Kind of weak compared to like other things, but it's okay. Then we have Bommy Carrot. Its name is supposed to be a pun on baby carrot. Baby carrot, Bommy Carrot. This plant actually was half made up by my brother and half made up by me. Every now and then a carrot will come out of the ground where you planted it, and when you click on it, it will launch up and land down in a random direction, doing a decent amount of damage to every zombie in a 3x3 area. But because it's random, it's very unreliable. So unless you have like 10 of them down and you shoot them all at once, or there's zombies almost everywhere on the lawn, then they won't do much. Next up is the Gigapea. I'm still not completely sure how I want him to look, and my best idea is to have spikes on his back or something. The Gigapea is basically just a gigantic pea shooter that shoots 3 times slower, but 8 times as hard. And the Torchwood can make its pea even stronger, enough to one-hit a basic. Next up is Sunspout. I feel like I should have called it Sunsprout, but I don't know. The Sunspout is basically just a sunflower that produces 3 times as much sun. I kept on changing how much it cost to try and balance it. The final plant in modern day is Dynamite Tree. In real life, the Dynamite Tree, also known as the Sandbox Tree, it's covered in spikes and it has explosive fruit that spreads the seeds far away. It also poisons zombies. My Dynamite Tree, basically when you plant it, it will start as just a seed, but it will slowly grow up. And then, every now and then, it will throw an explosive seed at the zombies, and doing about as much damage as a potato mine. Then the seed that it threw will grow a new Dynamite Tree. Thing that I almost forgot to show is the different zombies and my custom Zomboss thing, but I don't really feel like editing them in, so I'll just tell you how they work. So I've added the office zombie, which is just my late zombie from the other video. He runs until he hits a plant, dropping paper behind him. And then there's the undercover zombie. He crawls under projectiles from peas and stuff. And the hollow zombie, which is a hologram of a zombie based off the Infinite, which, if you don't do a lot of damage to it on its final hit, it will come back. And then finally, here's a clip for what my idea for the moon landing Zomboss could be. Yeah, that's pretty much everything that I've made up that I've added to my game so far. I've been working on this game for like almost 2 months now, I believe. And I'm sorry I didn't really put much effort into this video, I just didn't feel like it. If I make another video like this, I'll probably try and put more effort into it.